All right. All right. Says we're live now. Hey, everybody. How are you? Tom Coleman. And we got Melanie Hall here with us today, and we're trying to find Dustin. So I don't know where he is today. So anyway, um, we're here. And hey, Melanie, how are you today?
I'm super good, Tom. Thanks. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Let me turn on the Q&A app. See if I waited too long to turn that on. I may have. I think no, there we go. It's on.
Oh,
So,
good.
so if we got anybody out there that has a question for us, the Q&A app is on. So please shout it out and jump in the Q&A, give us a question, and we'll pull you in and see if we can answer it. But today we're talking about Google Plus tips and tricks, and some of the things that we're talking about today are, um, about using Google Plus every day and how that works out. And we've kind of talked about that throughout the show, each show a little bit, talking about using it every day. And then we also have some tips on what not to do on Google Plus. So if any of y'all, and if anybody has some tips on that too, we'd be happy to see what you've got on that as well. But that's kind of what we're talking about today. So Melanie, if you want to tell people a little bit about how you use Google Plus every day, because I mean, you're on Google Plus every day, right? I mean, I am.
Every day, gosh, even a Saturday and a Sunday, I'll at least do two things because Saturday and Sunday is, running around and stuff. But my fallback is when I have my hashtag today's task. I just find something that's popular, and then I twist it into my viewpoint of it, and then that gives me one thing that I post. So that's always my rely on. Did I do one yesterday and today? No. So it looks like I did not do today's task for 2 days. So but I had a really good reason yesterday, Tom.
Yeah. There's no such thing as a good reason. You either do it or you don't. That's just how it goes. But anyway, I mean, I'm sorry to say that, but yeah, I go to Google Plus every day, and I use it. I use it basically as a distribution channel. So I just distribute things all over from it, and I use it to pick up good ideas and to try and develop stuff with too. So it's a great little thing to go with on an everyday kind of basis. And one of the really neat things about it is, if you're a content creator or you want to be a content creator, anything that you put out on your page or your profile or in a community can get on the SERPs. So if you're doing a little bit of keyword research and you're not trying for something that's too terribly difficult with a lot of competition, you can get a lot of keywords ranked up there on the search engines. And if you've got that going to a blog or your Google Plus page or whatever property you've got that going to, you're going to get some traffic to it and some information going to it. So that's one of the great things that I love about Google Plus. And tell us a little bit about what you love about Google Plus.
Well,
Same kind of stuff.
Well, I do have something, but yesterday I did have a really good excuse. I had to tell you.
Yeah.
I was recognized
Yeah.
as the Help Out Provider of the Month for Google.
Yes,
Yeah,
Melanie,
see,
how
that's a big
wonderful is
deal.
that?
That's
That's a
like a
big deal. That's a
see.
huge deal.
Yeah, so see, that excuse
Congratulations.
works. Yeah. Yeah, I was
What's that an excuse for? That's just a fantastic announcement. I mean, that's a great
oh my
achievement.
gosh. Well,
Congratulations.
thank you, but I had to, and I did 2 shows yesterday, but I mean just the excitement, the nerves, like whoa, and I
Oh,
don't I
gotcha.
don't think I really ate yesterday.
Oh,
which I'm
wow.
paying for today. You know, because I was so excited, and it was like, wow.
Yeah.
So yeah. But anyway, but what I like about Google Plus is when you're searching, when you don't know what to post, they help you,
Yeah.
because when you go into the top tab, if you're on your desktop, and on your phone it's available as well, you go into the top tab and explore, and the first place you should go, it does tell you some trending topics, but it's the heading that says what's hot, and those are ideas that are trending that people have sometimes 3,000 shares, and it may be about oceanography, it may be about okay, you know what's trending this morning? The cows that
Uh-uh.
come to the farmer who's playing his trombone to Lord's Royal song. He's at the bottom of a hill, and it's a video, and these cows are just coming over the hill. That's how he's calling his cows home. And see, even though that may not have anything to do with your brand, you could still share that because it's a hot topic, and you can relate it to something, and people say, wow, this person is on the trends. I happen to like cows. And you could gain some more connections, because first, the element, maybe they're farmers, maybe they play trombone, and maybe they like cows. They eat them or they drink their milk. So it
Sounds
opens
like
up possibility.
Sounds like fun. Well, one of the neat things about Google Plus though is it's organized around topics.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I mean, there's I don't know how many people are actually on Google Plus every day actively, but I mean, there's millions of them,
Yeah.
and you have just about any topic of interest that you can think of
Mm-hmm.
as a community in Google Plus. And one of the great things about it is you can go into any community and start interacting with people based on your common interests. Like if you
Yeah.
have an interest about YouTube or Twitter or crocheting or gardening or
Mm-hmm.
raising cattle, or I guarantee you almost there's a community out
Yeah.
there that's targeted around that topic. So what you can do is you can go out and you can relate to people and form relationships with people around a topic and get
Uh-huh.
to know people. And that's, I think, and learn things and help teach people things too that you know more about than they do. So, I mean, it's a wonderful platform from a relationship standpoint.
Uh-huh.
And and on Google Plus, one of the neat things about it, there are tools that you can use to go out and interact with just about anybody that you want to that's out there. So you can get in touch with people. They don't necessarily will not necessarily respond to you, but a lot of them will. And Google Plus seems to be a very open place. It's a very nice place. It's started by a bunch of engineers, so everybody kind of tinkers with things. But there's a lot of specific information that's out there on just about any particular subject that a human being has an interest in, and that's one of the strong benefits of Google Plus, in addition to the SEO benefits of it. That's kind of how I think about it. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, and if you're looking for a community of your topic and you don't find one, I promise you, if you create a community, you will get people to find you, because you know that you're not the only person in the world that happens to like red roses grown in pottery. You know, because I
That
mean,
is so true.
if you're that specific and you
Yeah.
develop a community for that, you will get people to find you because they're looking for the same things you're looking for. It's such a vast opportunity.
Yep, and if you've started out at a community and you're just a community of one and you're posting on that subject, guess what? It's going to be ranked, and people who have an interest in that may be seeing it on the SERPs and come in and join your community. So,
Yeah, and I think that benefits the community owner. If you are owning a community, everything that happens within that community is very helpful to your Google Plus profile somehow. I can't verify that, but I think that is true.
Okay. That sounds good.
And I created a community, like 2 months ago, and I
Okay. What did
hadn't
you do?
really. That community is called Lights Camera HOA. It's for the newbies for
Oh
the
yeah. Yep. Yep.
weekly
Yep. Yep.
show,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
and and I did it as a necessary means because I've been on Google Plus for a long time, but I really didn't want the responsibility of having a community. So when I came to the crossroads where I should create a community, I really had to step over and do it, and I'm glad I did.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
that might be the hesitation some others have too. That why start, and because they have apprehensions that it's not going to be successful. Well, what is your term of, how are you defining success? You're not going to get 1 million people in your community overnight. And do you want 1 million people? That's a lot of people to manage.
Well, I mean, it's like anything else. You start something and you go with it. And if it's something that you have a passion about,
Hmm.
it's like anything else you have a passion about. As long as you have a passion about it and you have a vision for it, then you're going to keep going. And what you'll end up doing, as long as you get started, the universe kind of conspires around you to help move you forward with things. And then you just change things to find out, go with more with what works,
Hmm.
and cast aside the things that don't work. But you'll keep trying stuff and keep going with it, especially if you have a vision about it or if you're passionate about it. I mean, that's what passion and vision are all about. And
Hmm.
if it's organized around your passion and your vision, it's on Google Plus. I mean, does that make sense? I mean, that's kind of how I see it. Just get
Yeah.
started and keep going.
Yeah.
Because if you love it, you're going to keep doing it anyway, and there's I forget who said it, but there's a quote out there that, if you just announce to the world that you're going to do this, that there will be people around that hear that and join you, so, and I think that's true. So
Yeah.
that's just
So.
kind of my take on it.
Yeah, and I belong to a lot of communities, and sometimes I have to trade them out, but I really enjoy the community activities, the communities that I belong to, because I meet the people who we really can connect because we're all on the same page in a sense.
Yeah, everybody's got the same interest in the community, and you're organized
Hmm.
around that interest. So it's a wonderful thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. That's
yeah.
tremendous. Yep. So anything else you want to talk about as far as just, I mean, what is like a standard day for you when you come in and sign on to Google Plus? Kind of, what do you do?
Okay,
You
here's what
just
I
you
do.
post stuff, or you go talk to people, or you go into communities, or just a standard day for you.
Okay, I have it broken down to three parts.
Okay.
The first third of my day is reading. I will read through posts that I missed, like maybe Europe was posting, of course, because they're up earlier than we are. The sun comes over there first. So I do a lot of reading, and then that's when I plus one, and then I take little notes on a little handy whiteboard of things I want to go back and address. So the
Yep.
first third is reading. The next part, the middle afternoon part, is writing. So I'll write something, and now writing could be I'm going to put it on Twitter or LinkedIn or Google Plus, or maybe I'm doing a blog, but some kind of writing because my thoughts have coagulated over the morning. And then in the late afternoon and evening, I respond. So I'll go through and go and say, okay, who liked my stuff, who shared my things. So I'm going to. So I guess that's like the relationship building side. So I have it in three parts.
Well, how
And then
proactive? How? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
and then in the middle of the night, if I wake up, because Europe is Europe and Singapore and Australia is still very busy. I'll go through and I'll see what they're talking about, because like Australia's already like a day ahead of us. So I'll say, wow, I wonder if that's going to be talked about in the morning, and usually it is. So I pay attention to Australia at the wee hours of the morning, and I'll go through and I'll say, hey, yeah, I like that. But I don't start conversations in the middle of the night, because then that's rude, because then that implies to the other person who's reading what you replied that you're awake and there. So if you start a conversation, you go back to sleep and well, how rude, she didn't even respond. So don't start a conversation in the middle of sleep.
Well, how long do you get to respond before it's considered rude?
I think the standard rule is 24 hours.
Okay, 24 hours. I was
but here's the thing: when you respond late, say you catch up and you say, "Oh my goodness, I have been absent for 3 weeks for whatever. Maybe you had a surgery or something," and you respond, it still gives new juice to that post that you're responding to, which people love. People like that.
Well, yeah, I just made a new friend on Twitter and looked him up on Google Plus and said, hey, and he responded to me, and then I just saw it today, and that was like 4 days ago.
Yeah,
so
see,
I
4
just
days is not
responded
bad.
to him. So I'm going, oh man, how awful is that? But anyway, yeah, because I'm on it every day, and I've got a lot of things going on right now. So, do you have a particular number of posts that you like to get out, and do you like to get them out at certain times of the day on Google Plus? How do you do that?
My peak time for me in my time zone for my connection seems to be from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Okay.
That's like big activity. So that's why, since my activity, the middle part is writing, I could like write and respond, and then the rest is respond. But the first part, I do a lot of reading.
So when you're reading, I mean, are you plus wanting and making comments and things?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
when you're reading, you're plus wanting and making comments.
Uh-huh.
So you're
Just
spreading out
little
there and
short little comments.
you're making relationships. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
so I'm not giving anything new in the morning except today's task. But yeah, I'm just supporting my fellow Google Plusers in that way.
okay. And are these people that you're finding in the community that you're focused around topics?
I think it's more around the people, because as I scroll through, and I can recognize their face. I mean,
Right.
all of us have our images.
Right.
I have no blue heads, because I cannot connect to it. I can't relate to a blue head. So I'll go through, and because I recognize them, I feel like that's that trust level. So I go to them first, because I feel I already have a relationship with them.
Mm-hmm. And so you develop a relationship by making comments, and they comment back, and you plus one, and people start jumping in on the threads and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at some of the threads on Google Plus, a lot of people will make a post on Google Plus on a particular subject, and it could be a long post, almost the size of a blog post.
Yeah.
And you'll see comments in it, and some of these comments, there's more information in the comments than there necessarily are in the blog post sometimes, or there'll be exceptional points made in the comments. So basically on Google Plus, one of the wonderful things about some of the posts people are making is that the commentary on the subject, the conversation extends throughout the comments, and there's a lot of great points on comments on that. Like there's Dennis LaBelle put out a YouTube Tools, I think it was today, and there was a comment, and I hadn't had a chance to go back and look at it.
And that was a really long one. I saw that one.
Yeah, it's that's an excellent resource. He puts out a lot of tremendous resource posts. And but there was and he asked, a lot of times he'll ask for input if there's another tool or something, and people comment on that, and somebody added a tool to that. Now, I haven't been able to click the link and go see what it is at this point in time, so I don't know if that was a good ad or if somebody's just trying to spam something. But and sometimes that happens too. But the the comments. I mean, it's just a lot of great information there. So.
And you know, too, it depends. Like in the morning when I am waking up, I'm on my cell phone, and when I'm plus oneing, you know, when I'm plus oneing and commenting, and I'm type, my comments are shorter because I'm typing with a finger or a thumb. But when I get up here in the afternoon or late morning at my, you know, because I can type really fast, so that's when I can really give you some content. But you are right. I glean so much from the comments from others because the conversation continues, and you know, I love them. And even if one post has 99 comments, I'm going to read them because I want to see where, you know, where it's headed. And sometimes that little gem might be comment 98, and if I'd stopped at 5 or 6, I wouldn't see that gem at 98.
That is so true. So true. So true. So true.
How about you? Do you do long comments? Well, see, well, back to the morning. When I see your face in the morning, you're one of those faces I look for. There are certain people I look for in the morning. So when I see your post and your face, I'm like, oh, there we go. So you make it very easy for me because you know, you have a schedule where I can count on. Like Tom's going to post something in the morning. This is good. Or so and so's going to post something at 4 in the afternoon, because when we really know our connections, we know their schedule and we can rely on that.
Well, and there's another thing too. One of the great things about Google Plus is you can sort everybody into, and the resources are there. You just got to kind of look for them. But you can format your feed to exactly what you want to see. So you don't have to be irritated by blue heads or anything else. And I mean, you can organize Google Plus so that you get exactly what you want. And you can change it around all the time too, and you just do that through your circles. The first 4 circles that you have are what show in your overall feed, and then you can plug into any one of those circles, and you can have it organized by one person if you want. So if you wanted to watch all of Guy Kawasaki's stuff, you could put him in a circle all by himself and say that you wanted to see everything that he put out, and when you clicked on that circle, or if it was in one of your first 4, you would see everything he put out. And if you clicked on that circle, you would see everything he put out that day. So you can pinpoint what you want, and that is really, and you can do it by topic too. So you can do it by keyword, you can do it by hot topics, you can do it by people, you can do it by interest, you can do it. I mean, it's just and everything. I love Google Plus.
And you know why? You know why it's so easy, Tom? Because Google is search. So why would they put out a product called Google Plus without such great search capabilities? It wouldn't make sense. We'd say, hey, you're not true to your brand. So when they have this platform called Google Plus, it is searchable rich. You can search any which way you want. You can search the word blue-eyed males. If you just want to see like who on Google Plus has blue eyes, if they happen to tell you that information, then you can find a list of them. I challenge any viewer today to go crazy in the Google Plus search bar at the top and type in a string of words, and you will find people and communities who have that information somewhere or have posted blue-eyed males. You know, 3-toed frogs, anything.
Three-toed frogs.
I have played with it, and this is crazy. It doesn't matter what string of words I put in. Somebody somewhere in the vastness of Google Plus, it's in a search.
Yep, and you want to kind of keep your keywords in mind too, and your hashtags. So you can get things out like that too. So lots of good stuff there.
Because it's so searchable, use it advantageously.
Bingo. Well, let's talk a little bit about what not to do on Google Plus. What's your favorite tip about what not to do on Google Plus?
Don't bash.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh my gosh. Oh, you know why? You know, people can see you do that, and don't bash. You know, you can tell somebody that they're incorrect, but you don't have to tell them that, you know, your mother's so fat joke either. You don't have to go there.
I
It's
haven't
like,
seen anybody do that, but
oh my goodness, I
I've
would.
seen there's I know there's trolls out there, and they just come. You know, that's one of the. That's getting off topic. Never mind. I'm sorry. Keep going.
Well, no, that's part of it because people who have that mentality to troll, they are set out to cause controversy or trouble. But it doesn't belong on this platform. You know,
Yeah.
we don't like it here when people kick, you know, sand up in your face on a nice sunny day on the beach.
Well, you just try and be kind a little bit and
Yeah.
contribute to the conversation as opposed to creating controversy.
Yeah, and
But
even if there is controversy, you can still do it in an intellectual, humanistic way. You don't have to
well,
insult.
oh, absolutely. Everybody's different, and people just agree. You just agree to disagree. I mean,
Yeah.
there's lots of cultures. There's lots of. I mean, the world is a big place, and everybody's represented here on Google Plus.
Mhm.
And again, that's one of the beauties of it. So you can have friendships all over the world, and you can impact people all over the world just from Google Plus.
And Google Plus also has that little button if someone from Japan replies and say the English or say it didn't come through right, you have that little option that says translate, and then the software will translate it as best it can so that you get a gist if they're liking what you said or they just said, you know, that was a bad idea. So I really like that.
Yeah, and it's pretty good, and that comes in useful in the comments too. So.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
one of the things when you're sharing content, you don't share just from friends, do you? Or do you share? You kind of look out from everybody, or how do you
Yeah,
do that?
my other strategy is when I get a new connection, you know, when we get notified like someone just connected to you and I don't know who they are, I go into their profile and I look at their posts and I try to find two things that I want to share, and that's kind of like my thank you to them. Because sometimes I won't connect back just because they're way out of my interest, but I do want to uh, like or comment on at least two things I find in their on their page to say thank you, so that they notice. And I do that. Try to do it within the same day that they connect, and
Hmm.
that has helped because it always makes people feel good when they feel acknowledged.
Right. Well, and just some of the things not to do on Google Plus is just kind of common sense and that things that you should be doing in a developmental sense as a human being too. So, for example, if you should share other people's good content that you like, so
Hmm.
that those people get noticed too.
Yeah.
And when you're um, doing things to connect with people, you do them because it's the right thing to do, and not necessarily expect anything in return.
Yeah.
Of course, when you're posting content on there, it's really important to kind of do the the research on it so that you get it right,
Yeah.
um, as opposed to just throwing something up there or guessing about stuff. But you know, a lot of people, there's a lot of when you're talking about SEO and Google all the algorithms and all that kind of
Uh-huh.
stuff, there's a lot of research that's done about particular points on that, but there's an awful lot of guesswork on it too. So there's a lot of speculation, I think, and people have to remember that some of that is speculation and it's not necessarily a fact, because there's too much of that stuff out there and nobody actually knows what that algorithm is. But that's just kind of 2 cents on that. And one of the things that really can turn people off, if you're posting into your profile or on your page, and then you're taking that post and posting that in different communities. Um, have you seen any of that going on? Does that kind of tick you off, or?
I have been guilty of doing that, and then I learned my lesson really fast.
What happened?
They reached out to me and taught me. I'm like, whoa.
They did.
Yeah, they did. But then I also, to remedy that, I also put it in my settings that what I share to communities isn't within my own feed. So that helped. But I tell you, I think in one day I posted near the same thing, not verbatim, but near the same thing to like 8 communities, and 3 of those community managers said, "See ya." Because you're doing this, they took the time and they saw whether the communities I was belonging to, and they told me so long, so because they take their community seriously.
Well,
and I don't feel bad about. I mean, I don't feel like they did anything wrong. I don't. They're doing what they said they were going to do.
Right.
Me, I learned the hard knocks way.
So what were you just not on particular topic for a particular community, or?
No, I was, but they were offended of the repeat.
Oh, okay.
Because
okay.
I was they knew that I had repeated, so it was not unique for their community. So
Gotcha.
Yeah, that was not part of what they wanted in their community.
Okay, and also people have different interests too. They're spread out in different communities, and if they see the same post, just in the different communities that they're in, they may have a negative impression about that too. So that's just kind of something to watch out for.
Yeah, and always follow the community rules. Every one of them has them, and so just abide by them. Play nice, and if you make a mistake, then you know that within yourself. But if you're intentionally spamming, then you can expect some bad vibe back.
Well, spam is what in the eye of the beholder. Kind of like beauty, but spam works the same way. So if it offends you, it's spam. And so you got to kind of watch out for that. So people get offended.
I was in one community. I don't think I'm in it anymore. I don't know, but I was in one community, and they 3 days later they sent me a note and said, because there was not one +1 or not one comment, they were removing my post. And it wasn't bad or anything. In their community, they want interaction, so they go through. A moderator goes through and removes things that have no activity to it. So that was surprising to me.
That's interesting. So,
yeah. Well,
I mean, everybody's got their own little rules.
Yeah.
And if you don't like theirs, set up your own community.
That's right.
If you don't want to play by their rules, set up your own community, play by your rules.
That's
See if
right.
some other people come in and play with you. It's
interesting that you are in control of your community any way you want.
That's exactly right. And let's see, one of the other things, talking about blueheads and blueheads, just somebody that hadn't put a picture on their profile.
Yeah.
And talking about putting pictures on your profile and stuff. One of the and you talked about this a little bit earlier, but one of the things when you're scrolling through things and you get used to seeing people and you start having relationships with people by +1ing and commenting on things, and so you start to develop relationships with people. Mm-hmm. And one of the things about that is on a profile, people really should have a picture of their face. Yeah. And not their cat and not their dog and not their kids, but it should be a picture of your face, and basically you should kind of keep that because that's kind of a brand. And like I'm trying to think, there's somebody that had a particular profile, and I interact with them quite a bit on some different social media things. Uh-huh. And they changed their profile a little bit, and I mean, it's a nice change, but it kind of took me back because I've not gotten used to it yet, so I don't always see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So go ahead. I'm sorry.
and brand,
Just the only point there was, have a picture of your face and don't change it too often.
yeah, and brands. I can tell you the brand right now that frustrates me. I love their content, but because they change every month, it's the Fast Company, FAST Company.
Yep.
And they go by their magazine cover, I guess, and they change it every month. So I'm used to looking for that, and then they change it, and then I'm like, well, I didn't see any posts from Fast Company because they changed it, because I'm looking for the familiarity.
Gotcha. Well, interesting. Cool. Okay.
That's
Well.
why I can't change my haircut for a long time. When I was, before, I got my haircut over on Friday, and boy, people are commenting, finally, we recognize you again. Because when I was trying to grow it out long, and I thought, well, gosh, if I keep it longer and pin back, then I'll have to get a new image. But I said, I just don't like pinning it back all the time. So I cut it, and the response was, thank you.
Well, people are watching.
I know, it's so strange. And I think guys, men with facial hair, I mean, if we know them with their beard or mustache, and then they shave it off, we can just fly right by them.
Yep. On their profile pics.
Yeah.
That's funny. Well, let's see. Do we have any questions from the audience? No, not yet. So, okay. Well, that pretty much wraps up for the show. Now, one of the things we'd like to ask anybody that's watching and anybody that sees the show, there's a resource document, and on that resource document, next week we're going to start a new series. And what we'd like to do is get some input from you guys as to what kind of things that you would like to talk about, whether it's on a social media platform or how to do things, or would just like to get some input there if we can. And what we're trying to do is make things that are actionable for the audience. In other words, we want to give you information that you can benefit from and that you can use in your day-to-day activities on whatever platform that you're on. And this has been all about Google+, so hopefully we've helped out with that, and I've got a lot of work. I've got to go back and put all this together and link it all together, because overall it's a great little document and a great little resource for everybody. So what we want to do, though, is take other things and make it kind of a resource for people. And between Dustin and Meloney and me, and we can pull other people into it if we don't have the information that we need. So we can pretty much cover any subject that you want. But if you would click that document, the document, it's on slide number 6, I believe, and there's a link in there, and it goes to a form. It's a Google Doc form. It's a Google form, and it's got a list of questions. It's got a series of questions on it that you can just check off whatever you're interested in, and there's a little box in there where you can add comments to it. And if you would do that, we would certainly appreciate it, and that'll help us out a lot too, and hopefully it'll help other members of the community out too. So that would be kind of cool. Yeah. So, and
it's exciting because we're in the midst of launching new. When you come to the end of a journey and then you begin another one, you have that bittersweet. It's like, oh, this is over, but this is beginning, and so that's the point we're in right now.
Well, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of work, but it'll be a lot of fun. So, and that pretty much ends it for the specific things that we had on topic. If there's anything that you want to mention that you saw this past week that you want to bring up and talk a little bit about, Meloney, this is a good time to do it.
I'm interested to learn more about the Showcase app, since both of us do Hangout on Air, HOAs, and there's other people that do HOAs. How is that working out? You know, is it too new? Is it too big of a bell and whistle that we don't want to learn, or do we want to grasp it and embrace it? I don't know. So I'm going to be heavily exploring that this week. So I have more information about that showcase app for Hangouts.
Okay. Well, I've got it enabled right now. So would you want to try it out? It's got add an item from a website. So if you're interested, I can maybe show you something. Let's see. That's this one.
Yeah, you launch it, and I'll tell you what it looks like over here.
Yeah, hang on a second. Let me go grab something because I got a neat little Facebook thing for you. For if anybody does any Facebook, let's see. That's not it.
I wonder if I have to.
See if I can find it. Let's see, Facebook. Well, one of the things. Oh, here we go. I think this is it. Facebook IDs. No. That's not it.
And I think I have to open my showcase app over here so I see it. I think.
No, here it is. I've got a little document. It's called Facebook targeting, and it's a Google Doc, and it's reverse engineering Facebook ads. Let me see if I've got it in a shared mode. If I can, it's only 2 slides. It's real short and sweet.
And then you're going to put that link on the showcase part.
Yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the link, copy, and it is public, so anybody on the internet can view it. So, and I don't have a way to buffer it, so I was going to make a shortened link on it, but let's just do this real quick. Let me get back to the Google Hangout. I'm going to see if it'll post in here.
Okay.
And so I put it in there, and it's loading it, and hit enter. Error adding the website link. Please try again. Okay. Well, maybe it won't do a presentation. That's interesting. Hang on. Let me see if I can buffer it real quick.
Or maybe because it's
be a problem.
Facebook. Well, it's not coming from Facebook, right?
No, it's coming from a Google slide.
Oh, well then it should work.
It's what I'm doing. I'm putting it in it. Well, let me. It may be. There could be any number of things why it's not. So let me just try a different format real quick.
Okay.
And it may work or it may not. I mean, that's one of the fun things about doing this. You just kind of try things and see what works, and then we can tell you about it. Boom. Okay. Boom. Okay, it's loading it now. It's not going to load it. It is not going to load it, and that is a shareable link. So let me try something else.
Just try a simple website.
Well,
that's.
Yeah, hang on a second. Let me go.
Yeah, something.
Let me go grab one real quick. Hum along or something. Here we go. I've got one.
Cows
now.
Coming over the hill.
So hang on. No, let's don't do cows coming over the hill. Let's do ferrets or something. Here, let's see if this.
Okay.
Let's see if this works. Okay, it says it's loading it. It's trying to load it. Successfully saved all pending changes. Shown items will now be visible to your audience.
Oh.
Okay. Can you see anything?
Well, I've clicked the Showcase app because I'm in the Hangouts, but I don't see it on my side. And when I don't have the Showcase app up, I just see you full screen. So I don't know if it's.
What I did is I threw in my website, so I have no idea what it's doing. But it's showing pictures is what it's doing.
Oh. Well, maybe I don't know why I'm not seeing it. Maybe because I'm
Well,
not an audience. I'm in the Hangout. I don't.
what I'm seeing come across the app are pictures that are on my blog.
Yeah.
So it's showing pictures. So I guess
Mhm.
it's a picture showcase app. So it shows pictures from things. So
Hmm.
maybe that's why it couldn't pull. That's why it couldn't pull the. So how do I stop it now?
Probably go
Wait a
over
minute.
and
Wait,
close it. I don't
I
know.
hit more. I hit more, and now it's pulling up my. It's pulling up the website. So hang
Oh.
on a second. Let me just get rid of it real quick.
I'm going to
There
have
we
to watch
go.
the replay because I
I,
don't see it on this
yeah,
end.
I came out of it. Yeah, but I don't. It may be showing to the audience.
Yeah.
So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah,
So
because it's disappointing to the people in the, well, oh, I know why. Maybe it doesn't want to show to the people within the Hangout because they don't want us to click on the links leaving the Hangout. That could be. I don't know.
yeah, yeah, could be.
But
So, but
more
anyway,
to
any
explore.
question? Well, we tried it. Anybody have a question?
Yeah, they're saying, how does Showcase
Well,
work?
yeah. So it evidently it shows pictures. So we'll find out more and tell you next week. But
Yeah.
I've got an appointment I've got to run to, so
Yeah.
I need to stop this broadcast real quick. So
Okay.
um, just say goodbye to everybody, and I hope you enjoyed it. And go ahead and click that resource document. Go to the 6th slide, click on the link, and tell us what you want to see. Because we're going to try and do what I want to do is at least a series of 4 to 6 shows, maybe, and something like that. And we'd like to put something together that is actionable for you, that will make a difference in your life and help you to do things. So if you can help us with some information on what information would be helpful to you on that format, we certainly would appreciate it. And if you think of something, don't be selfish. Share it, because if you're thinking of it, I guarantee you there's a lot of people that are thinking of
Yeah.
it, and it can help some people out. So we appreciate your help in that. So Melanie, that's it for me.
Me too. It was fun, Tom.
It's
And
always fun. You're always
yeah.
delightful.
And you are too. I tell you, if you came on a show and didn't laugh one time, I'd have to leave.
Oh
Because
no.
I count on your laugh. I count on it.
Well, I'm glad some people like it.
So you
But
got to keep that going.
I have a kick. I get a kick out of it. I have a good time. So I hope everybody does have a good time. So, do you have anything else do you have anything you want to promote or anything? Tell people tell people about your Hangouts again. You've got a couple different things going. Tell them about it.
Okay. Thank you for coaching me, Tom, because I never do this well. Oh, so I appreciate that cue. On Mondays, there's 2 HOA shows. The first one's at 4 p.m. Eastern. It's called Lights, Camera, HOA, and it's for Hangout on Air newbies. And it's a place to practice. Hashtag place to practice. Hashtag Lights, Camera, HOA.
And that's your program and your property, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure everybody understands that. Go
Yes,
ahead.
and then the other one that I guess I'm the official founder, but Jess Duell, she is Dual. I always say her name wrong. Jess
Uh-huh.
Dual.
Uh-huh.
She was the second one that I invited in, so that we're like partners, and then we launched the Women in Business Today, which follows Lights Camera HOA at 6 p.m. Eastern. And last night's show was absolutely fabulous. It's only a half-hour show, but the topic was plan and then you must implement, and it was super good. And I only had one faux pas. I forgot Kitty's last name, so that was the only thing that I messed up, but everything else went really well. And then
Well,
on Tuesdays, I'm on your show.
yep.
And then with the help out by Google Provider, I made a nifty little animated video that I launched late last night, and it's 3 minutes, and that's like the best I've done. And the program I use for that is Sparkle by VideoScribe. So but I don't use the hand. It's the magic green crayon. That's part of my branding. So on my YouTube channel, you'll see the animated videos I've done, and it's the magic green crayon.
Okay.
Super.
Now thank you for sharing that. And
Thank you for asking.
Well, here's what I want you to do though. We have a resource document associated with every show. And there's a link to that in the description of everything. It's going to be on YouTube. It's going to be everywhere. So one of the things I want you to do, and remember last time we went in there and you were able to go in and put stuff in that document?
Yeah.
Well, you can do it on this one too. So,
okay.
So let's see, if you'll click, I think if you just click the resource document link, when you go in, if you're signed into that email, I assume you have to be, or you may have to put it in, but you'll be able to get to that document and you can edit it. Yeah. And what I would like, or I can put the link in the chat room here if you want me to.
Well, let me try the other way, the first way you suggested, and then I'll tell you if that worked.
Why don't we do that on camera real quick? Why don't you just see if you can do that real quick, and just let us know if it works or not. Or we can, if you.
Well, then I would have.
We can come back. We can tell you. We can try it, and we can tell you next week then.
Yeah, because then I'd have to leave the chat, I think.
Okay. Well, we'll try. We'll let you know next week. But we know you can do it.
But I'm going through the steps in my mind. I'm thinking, I think I'm skipping a step. Something, yeah.
Yeah. So, well, I don't want to lie dead air, and I've got a meeting I got to go to, so I got to quit. So anyway, goodbye, everybody. We'll see you next Tuesday at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. Bring the kids, bring the wife, bring the husbands. We'll all have a ball. See you then. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye.